Hi and welcome to this oil painting church in winter landscape lights tutorial. I am doing a voiceover here. Originally this video has some music in it, and you will find a link to the original video with the original soundtrack in the description, and it's on my second channel, which I'm now starting to rebuild. The channels will be a little bit different, much of the same stuff, but enhanced videos and stuff, so go check it out. Also check out my Patreon if you want to support my channel. That would be really great. Now, what I wanted to talk about here is how I build these textures, how to build a painting that has a light, not like what I'm aiming for when I paint is to get the feeling that the light is coming out of the painting, not that light hits the painting and lights it up, but actually the light coming out of the painting. That is of course physically right, because that is what actually happens. But some paintings doesn't feel like that, and it is because they haven't used the same colors as nature does to create the rainbow or to create all the different color contrast in nature. What you have to do is to use basically the same mixing process that nature does, and that is actually through all the different primary colors, or the primary colors, and all the thousand upon thousand, probably millions of nuances in between. Of course, I can't paint in millions of nuances, but I can try to create a surface that has that constituency, or makes the light that hit the surface actually send back that feeling. What you do is actually putting, like the Impressionist, this is not directly an Impressionist painting, but if you go deep into it and you start looking at it closely, you will actually see that in every brushwork I have different colors that is actually mixed into one another. Or if I have put on some clean colors in the texture, like blue or red or yellows or whatever color, violet or whatever color it is, you will always have the complementary contrast besides it or nearby or whatever to create this tension between the primary colors. Of course, it's very hard to control that. It's way easier to control a surface where you only use nuance and you don't go for the more Impressionist colors, which is almost bubbling over like a teapot where the water is boiling. And it's the same thing I want in my paintings. I want the colors to not fight each other, but to interact with each other to create this sense of light coming out of the painting, sorry. And of course I kind of grab the paint on the palette and I just push it into it. If you can see the light areas by the door there, I have built very thick whites with some orange in it, and you see all the blues and there's some violet there and blue, and then you look at the wall with the shadow part of the wall, and you can actually see that there are basically some of the same colors. They're just kind of pushed down. You can see the roof there is blue and violet, and there's some yellow in the background, and you can see that I'm actually changing there are two files here, but you can actually see the more orange light hitting the surface or in the tower there, and is in the orange realm, and you can see the blues and stuff beside there. And so I kind of try to make all these different colors basically fight for space in the painting. My problem is that I'm also kind of a impressionist and expressionist in many ways. So my problem is very often that I have problems keeping the colors down so that it doesn't go over the top. And that is the thing I'm working with, and will be the thing I will probably work with for the rest of my life. Also, when I paint the branches and the trees, I try to follow the rules of nature. I try to the gyllene snitt, the golden snit, or whatever they call it, because everything in nature is growing in the same patterns. And it's the same patterns. If you look at veins in the human body, they are growing in the same way as trees does. And you can see river beds from space, and they are kind of doing the same thing as trees does. So the laws of nature are creating the same shapes. You can see it in the clouds, you can see it in the nebulas in space. It's the same shapes, the same colors, and this goes over and over again. So if you can actually take that and put it into the painting, you have to understand a little bit of how the universe works, a little bit of physics, maybe some chemistry, just a little bit, so you understand how nature works. And you bring that into the painting. I also, of course, build thick colors in the light area of the sky, and I just keep on adding more and more color, more overlays over them. Also, the pressure I put on the brush is also different compared to where I'm painting, because if I want thick layers, I can actually lay them on top of each other without ruining the layers beneath, even if they are not dry yet. So it's almost like a piano. You don't play the piano with just one note. You play the piano in many different touches and different pressures on the keyboards. So I hope this maybe helps a little bit what I'm telling you now. Now, as I said in the beginning, if you want to support my work and my channel, it would be really great if you go to my Patreon. You find a link in the description, and that you sign up for $1 or $5 or whatever you want to contribute to it. If you add in a $5 patronage every month, you can actually win a small painting in my Patreon giveaway lottery. It's not a giveaway. And I will also interact with you on the personal level through Patreon, or even add you on Facebook so I can teach you how to paint. So I hope to see you there, and I hope you enjoyed this video and that you learned something from it. Also remember to put on the notification bell so you get notifications when I add in a new video, and leave a comment, thumbs up, and share it with your friends on social media. And I hope to see you in the next video, because it made me happy.